If you're watching this video, you might wonder to yourself, why is this lunatic uploading a video from August in April? The answer is simple. I'm a lunatic. Basically, this was the last video that I filmed a few days before shit completely hit the fan in my life and I had to quit YouTube for more than half a year. If you happen to miss that video where I talk about that I posted a few days ago, I will link it at the end of this video. Anyway, the 3 items I talk about in this video are still 100% what I would choose, hands down. So, completely relevant, why not post it? Although I will say I am probably not going to film outside on a windy day anymore because that background noise was awful. I am really sorry. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy the video. That these tomato plants are completely out of control. I spent one afternoon a few weeks ago trimming them up because they tipped over the entire trellis and my husband had to reinforce this trellis because it fell over because they were so heavy. I didn't know that you had to trim tomato plants. Didn't know. First year gardener problems. So I had it trimmed up really good. Took a whole afternoon. I was sunburned. 5 hours later, it looked nice. And then we got busy the last few weeks and it's out of control again. Considering how many green, fresh buds are on here yet that aren't even ready to pick, I'm assuming we're gonna be picking these until September. Again, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyway, I was just out here doing my morning harvest that I normally do. And I thought I'd give you guys a garden update because it has been a while. Am I too close? I should probably back up. Is this okay? So anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about my prepping goals since it's been almost a year since I started prepping now. And today we're just going to talk about the 3 biggest ticket items that I think are important for every prepper to work towards as a goal. As far as material things, not necessarily skills, because skills are also important. But the 3 most expensive items that I think, in my opinion, really takes it to the next level for you for prepping, and I think significantly increases the things you're able to do as a prepper. Emergency preparedness, prepping, whatever you want to call it, isn't really a destination as much as it's a journey. And it can either be a sprint or, in my case, a marathon. A slow marathon. I started prepping in fall of 2021, so it's almost a year since I've been prepping now, and I think I've come a long way. But like I said, for me, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Out of these 3 items, one of them I already own, the other 2 I do not yet. And the order here, I guess, is going to be order of importance for me personally. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions. What are you doing? This is Teddy. He is our 8-year-old Rottweiler. Yeah, he's a big cuddle bear. He thinks that he is a 10-pound dog. He thinks he's a badass too. Anyway, what was I saying? So number 3 on my top 3 big ticket item wish list is a Berkey water filter. Water tends to be forgotten a lot with prepping. A lot of people tend to focus on food and then they kind of forget about their need for water. And not just water in general, but drinkable water. I've showed my water supply in a past video before. It's not exactly where I want it to be. There's a lot more progress I'd like to make with that. But besides jugs of water and bottles of water, we also have life straws. The reason I bought life straws is because they're $20 on Amazon. I'll link to them in the description below if you're interested in getting some for yourself. Because like I said, I don't have a lot of disposable income. So the thought of buying a Berkey water filter right away would have been amazing, but there's no way I was going to afford that right away. So in the event that we need to drink maybe contaminated water and need to filter that out because we're through all of our bottles of water or our water reserves, the life straws help to filter out that water that we might be drinking from the stream that's in our backyard. We have a river running through our backyard, or even, to be honest, our well. Again, in that video I showed that we have a manual pump to pull water up from the well, but I wouldn't necessarily drink that straight from the well unless I really had to. So the Life Straws are nice, but if you can afford a water filter that can filter gallons and gallons of water, I would go that route for sure. There are some vloggers that I watch on YouTube that have Berkey water filters like in their kitchens, like on their counters, and they use them every day, which is wild to me, but something to work toward. Okay, so number 2 on my list of big ticket items that I want would be a freeze dryer. I really don't have a brand of freeze dryer that I would want. Like, I know for a water filter I want a Berkey. The Berkey is all that anyone ever talks about. If you have a different kind of water filter that you like that's not Berkey, let me know. But everything I've seen and heard is all about Berkey water filters. But for a freeze dryer, I don't necessarily know of any brands that I would want in particular, but I do know
that they are expensive as hell.
The reason it's number 2 on my list is because you can essentially preserve anything forever with the freeze dryer. I have a dehydrator. I think you guys have seen in a previous video, if you watch my videos, you've seen in a previous one where I try and dehydrate spinach in an oven. I have a dehydrator now, and that'll come in handy with some of like the peppers in my garden this year that I don't think I'm going to get to before they start to like go bad. Preserving food is huge. You can buy freeze-dried meal packets, like I was mentioning before. Those that have a ton of disposable income to go from 0 to 100 with prepping could probably buy like freeze-dried meals in packages. I know you can buy them on Amazon or websites, whatever. They're so expensive. Like, I could not do it. I coupon for my food. That's how I've grown very slowly my food supply over the last almost a year. But preserving food is super important. And there's like no limit to the things you can freeze dry. You can freeze dry, like I want to freeze dry eggs in the worst way because egg prices have gone so high. I would love to freeze dry eggs, honestly. And milk and cheese. I want to be able to buy my own food at a decent price, like when it's on clearance, and then freeze dry it. Even a meal I make, you know, like I could make a soup for a very reasonable price with food items that are on sale, and then I could freeze dry that soup and I could have it for years. And I just think the possibilities are endless with a freeze dryer. I'm so jealous of seeing all of the preppers and homesteaders that have freeze dryers. One day. If you have a freeze dryer, could you let me know what your favorite brand is in the comments below too? Because again, I don't know. I'm not at the point of buying one soon, to be honest. Again, they're really expensive. I would say like maybe next year, next summer, investing in a freeze dryer. Teddy, move your butt. No one wants to see your butt. All right, so number 1 on my list of priorities for big ticket items, and I guess by process of elimination, knowing I do not have a filter and I do not have a freeze dryer, would mean that this is the item that I do in fact have already. My husband and I bought this as an investment in our prepping journey probably 3 months into prepping last year because, again, it's so important, I think. And there are a lot of things that we depend on to sustain ourselves independently that we could not necessarily do without this item. And that is a solar generator with solar panels. We did a lot of research on the brand, and again, this video is not sponsored by them. I'm not sponsored by anyone. But anyway, we did a lot of research on what brand would be best for this because it is a big investment. It's a lot of money, so we wanted to make sure that it was something that was good. We wanted to make sure that the power generator and the solar panels that we bought were solid, that they weren't going to break down on us, especially when we need them the most in an emergency situation, survival situation. And we're super happy with it so far. I mean, we've only tried to use it every once in a while just so that we're familiar with using it. Like the last time you want to be trying to figure out how to use it is when your adrenaline's pumping and it's an emergency situation or whatever. You want to be able to know how to use it already. Let me know in the comments what you think about these top 3 items. If you have one that I didn't mention that's, you know, top 3 for your big ticket items, let me know what those are in the comments below too. like I said, everyone's opinions and priorities are different when prepping. And if you're not following me already, it would be really cool if you would. And maybe like this video if you agreed with my top 3 items. We'll see you next time. Bye.